What's up, gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. So in this one, I'm going to share with you guys 7 brutal lessons that I learned from going on over 150 dates, because that's approximately what I've been going on in the last few years. And a lot of those rules, they will go over your head. You're going to be thinking, well, that's not something that I thought about before. So let's jump right into it. So that will bring me to the first lesson, which is you can only get good at dating by going on a lot of dates. Dating is a skill, just like anything else in life. It's not different than learning how to play a guitar or learning how to play soccer or whatever sport that you imagine. All of this is a skill, from leading, flirting, conversation on dates, taking the girl home. All of it's not going to come natural to you in the beginning. Yeah, right now when I go on a date, I never run out of things to talk about. But when I just started, I had many moments that I ran out of things to say and that I was not confident and I was like, what am I doing here? I have no clue. So my first dates, they were awkward in the beginning. It's just ultimately about repetitions and also about getting the right feedback. That's also what I do with with the guys that I work with, as clients. So, which will bring me to the second lesson, which is that you will screw up many times. And that's totally fine to screw up because you're learning a skill set. I've also been on dates that were total nightmares and that I prefer to forget. But each one of them also taught me a valuable lesson, because also those dates that I went on that I shouldn't have, I also was ignoring red flags. And now that I have that experience, now that I've been on so many dates, I can see very early, she is a girl just like that. That's also why right now dating is more fun, because I have more experience and I filter out the women that are just not going to be a good fit. So that's also why I talk a lot on this channel about what kind of women to avoid when you're just texting with them, and to avoid women that are setting conditions for you, like, hey, let's do a dinner date, hey, can we do the date near my place, hey, let's go to another location. All of these kind of conditions. Because years ago, all of these things that on the surface, they look like they are very trivial, they actually make a very big difference for when you are going on your dates. And that's also why with this channel and with the clients that I work with, I focus with these guys on these small details so that they avoid these women that will be a headache later on. And that will bring me to the third point, which is that great dates do not always necessarily lead to a second one. Because sometimes you can do everything right. You can have good chemistry and still you cannot see her again after that. Because sometimes she met another guy. Maybe the timing was not good. Maybe the logistics were just not right on that day. And sometimes a lot of these things, they're just out of your control. And that's why outcome independence is so important in dating. You should never put up the expectation that every woman is going to reply to your text and that you're going to sleep with whatever girl you're going out with. Because the moment that you put up all of these expectations, you're going to put a lot of pressure on yourself, but also on her. When you learn how to detach from the outcome, you're going to think, well, it's okay if some things, they do not work out. And that will bring me to the fourth lesson, which is that your worst dates will come from women with low interest. And this is such a brutal lesson, and this is also why I tell guys to stay away from women with low to medium interest. And there are so many ways that you can filter out these women and that you can spot them early on. Because women that are really interested in you, they will never put up conditions for you. And these women will be very easygoing and very easy to date. But the women with low to medium interest, they will want you to jump through hoops. So that's why after going on so many dates, I filter out these women and dating becomes way more fun overall. And that will bring me to the fifth point, which is that spending more on a date will not make your date better. Actually, spending more on a date will make your date worse. Because right now, I am only going to cheap places for my first few dates. And the reason that I do that is because I want to filter out women that are low to medium interest. Because women that are really interested in you, they will go wherever you want with them. They will not be bothered that the place that you invite them to is not so fancy. So years ago, I used to go to cocktail places that were a little bit more on the fancy end. And it didn't improve my dating experience, and it also didn't help me to build better relationships with these women, or overall to take more women home. So that's why your first dates, they should always be low-key, low investment, cheap. Just get to know her and see if you're hitting it off well with each other. And that will bring me to the sixth point, which is that good dates follow a script. Because most men, when it comes to dating, they totally wing it. They're just like, yeah, let me pick up a random spot for the first date and then I'll just see if we end up in the bedroom together. And by winging it, you open the floodgates to be making mistakes. Because the best dates that you're going to have, they are going to be structured. You're going to have a very clear plan from start to finish for your dates. You will go to a handpicked place to do your first date. You will go to a place where you can sit next to each other, for example. You will know how to move things forward with her physically. And you make overall the whole process from start to finish for your dates, you make it repeatable. Because the moment that you start to put in the reps and you hone down that process and you make sure that process is really on point, then your dates become way, way, way easier. And because your dates start to become easier, you become way more confident in yourself and in dating overall. And that will bring me to the 7th point, which is that you need a lot of volume to find women that are worthwhile. Because most guys, they think, well, if I just meet 1 or 2 or 3 girls, then yeah, it's so good. Then I'm going to find someone that I really like. And this is, of course, a horrible mindset because it also reinforces scarcity. And it doesn't matter if you want a relationship or if you just want to date casually. You have to go through a lot of women that just are not a fit, or their interest is not high enough, or they date with the wrong intentions, or they are time wasters. All of that is totally normal. So that's also why I help clients to really get an abundance of women to choose from. Because ultimately you want to date on your terms, not on women's terms. Because only through having an abundance of options in your dating life, you'll be able to say no and to also reject certain women. So that's it, guys. 7 brutal lessons out of 150 dates that I've been on. If you want to skip years of trial and error and you want to avoid making these painful mistakes that I had to make years ago, then you can book a call with me with the link in the bio. Because honestly, if I had the right skill and the right knowledge, then I could have saved myself so much time, so much energy, and also so much money. So yeah, that's it, guys. Subscribe to the channel and peace.